step inside the truck and meet chef owner Brian Manus right now. So how did you develop the menu?
I thought about when I was a child eating at my grandmother's house, and it was always like a big spread of Southern food. And I thought, how can I incorporate that into a food truck, utilizing those Southern foods?
So how about the biscuit recipe? Is that yours? Is that your grandma's?
You know, the biscuit recipe, it was inspired by an old recipe that I got from my great-grandmother, Jetty. As making the biscuit the vehicle for all our sandwiches, we tweaked it a little bit. You know, we had to get it to a certain point where it needed to have a little bit of a less flaky quality. We wanted to have that layered aspect to it, but it had to be able to hold up in your hand when you're eating it like a sandwich.
All right, let's go.
Okay, great. So first things first here, we're the fried chicken. I've got some buttermilk marinated chicken breast. These are boneless, skinless breast.
I think Mark said that it was as big as a coffee cup.
Yeah, as big as, that's a good way to put it. So let's take this chicken that's marinated in the buttermilk in egg wash. We're gonna give it a nice little batter here in the flour mixture. I'm gonna go ahead and crack an egg here on this flat top. Grab a biscuit out of here. We keep the biscuits wrapped in containers in an electric hot box so they stay moist but also warm throughout the day when we're doing service. So on this fried chicken sandwich, we have a biscuit cut in half. We're also going to start with our collard greens on the base of the biscuit here. Those greens are simmered down over about an hour. This chicken breast out of the fryer. Chicken's got a nice crispy crust on it now. Marinating that chicken in that buttermilk and egg overnight, it makes it really moist and juicy. So you get a nice crispy outside and a really tender, juicy inside on that chicken breast. And then we've got our sausage sawmill gravy here. So that'll just go right on top of that. And we top that off with the biscuit. So that's a fried chicken sandwich.
Beautiful. I'm curious why you chose a food truck as opposed to a restaurant.
In terms of the true food truck versus brick and mortar, you know, I was running kitchens and being a chef in restaurants. Doing that for a long time, I realized I wanted to open my own thing. I've been around some food truck culture areas, and you know, that was something that was lacking in the mid-Missouri area. So I thought, one, that's a way to bring that kind of new dining experience to the people here in Columbia, but also there's a little bit of advantages to having a mobile food business, obviously. You can go to where the people are. I thought about those things as well as the financial aspect. You know, although opening a new food truck is not a cheap endeavor, it can be a little bit less expensive than a brick and mortar restaurant.
When you were at the Roots Blues and Barbecue, tell me how you decided what you were going to serve and what that was like for you to be in the middle of, it's a huge music festival.
One of the great things about why we opened a food truck, because I knew I'd go to different kinds of audiences, big music festival events or other kinds of large gatherings of people. So you go to where the clientele is and the hungry people are. And it's been great for us because we travel all over the country, not just here locally. And you know, the menu is kind of basically the same as we do here on the truck. A few tweaks here and there, but basically it's made for speed of service. So some of our more complicated dishes we do on the truck, we don't really do at the festivals, just because we got to put that food out there so fast, you know.
So you're bringing the food of the Ozarks to everyone.
Yeah, and it's really amazing the kind of reception we're getting, you know. It's really fun to see people come to us 3 or 4 times in a week and be like, you're all I'm eating here, and like, I love this food, and like what are greens? I love them. Like, you know, it's like, yeah, it's great to be able to share that with folks all over the country.
That's great.
So this next sandwich we're going to do is the Hottie Hillbilly. The name is kind of just a play on, like, you know, it's a sophisticated hillbilly sandwich, you know, so that's kind of the joke.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah. So I've got these green tomatoes, which are local sourced tomatoes, so they're definitely a seasonal dish. They are marinated in a buttermilk and egg mixture just like that chicken was. So we're just going to get those, press them down into some cornmeal really nice. So I'm going to put these green tomatoes in the fryer basket here. Just get them nice and toasty. When I first was conceptualizing this menu, before I designed the truck, I just drew it out on a piece of paper and like laid out my line and thought, if I want to build this sandwich, how am I going to do that?
Right.
You know, and got it pretty much right. There's a couple things now I'd change, but for in general, it's a pretty good system we have developed here. We've got these tomatoes frying up over here, nice and golden. We'll let them drain out for a minute. Grab another biscuit here.
That biscuit is gorgeous. It's amazing how simple a biscuit is, but just how complex the flavor is.
Oh yeah, for sure. So we've got our pimento cheese spread. We'll do a little bit of that on both sides of the biscuit here.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
This is what I had for lunch, and it's delicious.
So we got some fresh arugula there. Find nice locally grown arugula, it's great. Let those tomatoes fry up really nice and crispy.
I love how you're keeping me on task.
Yeah. All right, and the last element here, crispy bacon. Put that all together.
Brian, this is gorgeous Southern food served up on a biscuit right here in Columbia, Missouri. What does it mean for you to have partnerships with folks like the guys at Logboat Brewery, where you're there at least twice a week? So is that an important thing for you to set up, where you know that you're going to, on Thursdays and Saturdays, right? You're going to be there at the brewery. What does that mean for you?
That consistency is great for me as a food truck, because one of the advantages of having a food truck obviously is the mobility, but that's also a huge disadvantage is despite the social media presence we have and promoting where we're going to be, folks are always saying, I don't know where to find you. So having that consistency of being at Logwood or other locations on certain set days really is beneficial for us.
We follow the Ozark Mountain Biscuit Company here to Logboat Brewing to find out how this brewery is incorporating food trucks into its daily business. Come on inside.
It's really cool what's happening in Columbia with the food trucks. And
It is, and his food is awesome.
his food's incredible.
Yeah, it's really,
Homemade
really
biscuits and that fried chicken and those potatoes. You get those potatoes on the side and just, oh, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have for dinner. We started in my garage. We're literally a garage company. Myself and Andrew Sharp and Judson Ball were playing music in a band and making beer at the same time. And a very long story short, the beer was way better than the music, and we saw a need in this town for more locally made beer. That was back in 2009, and we finally were able to open the doors in 2014. So from idea to actually opening the doors was a crazy journey that led us down a lot of paths, but ultimately we finally did it, and we're happy to be here. Celebrated our 2-year anniversary back in May, and we're still going strong.
What do you want people who actually come to your physical location to kind of experience while they're here?
Well, hopefully they're experiencing really great beer, and it's beer that they want to keep buying and drinking and telling their friends and family about. We hope people enjoy it. We've got a big yard for yard games, sitting out at the picnic tables, fire pits, live music, really family friendly, and a good place to come and get a bunch of different food trucks and different food options that we don't take care of. We get to focus on our expertise, which is beer, and then have the food trucks come and provide delicious food for everybody that comes.
You have trucks rotating all the time.
Yeah.
So when did you guys decide to do that?
We started off when we were writing the business plan, we thought about food. People need to eat something when they're drinking alcoholic beverages. Our expertise is making beer, not running a kitchen. We really didn't want to get into that side of it. It would have been a whole other business plan and business model for our brewery. And about that same time, a lot more of these food trucks started popping up, and a lot of them are friends that were like, why don't you bring the food and we'll do the beer and it'll be a beautiful marriage. And luckily it's been great. Columbia has really been receptive to the food truck movement. I think we'll see more and more pop up, and it's cool because it's kind of a good mix match of our crew and their crew, and what a great way for us to share and support another local business. And it's been a really nice harmony, really. So we're excited. We hope for more food trucks and more of it.